Welcome back to Open House with Mark Siwiec and Corey James Moran, brought to you by the Mark Siwiec Team at Keller Williams Realty, a Greater Rochester Realty podcast. This is episode 123, and welcome to the snow globe.
Yeah, and cold season.
Yeah. I don't know. I had something over the weekend. Shocking.
Well, I've got something now. So if I say anything, really stupid over the course of the next 30 minutes,
it's all I'm at.
Yeah.
It was nice though, as we sit here. Let's see, late Wednesday morning. Woke up this morning, just a beautiful little coat of snow outside. Absolutely gorgeous out in Canandaigua Lake.
And honestly, Allen's Creek was really beautiful.
Yeah,
also.
I saw the photo you put out there.
Oh my God! So I snapped a photo this morning of our house, and it's just we back to the creek. Where there's a beautiful little island there. It's pretty.
Serene, I would say.
It is serene, yes. And this is, as I always say. I love snow for the next few weeks. And
sure,
then January
exactly.
1 and done. Yeah.
It's the fresh snow that has not been sitting around for 3 months like it will have been
yes.
At the end of February when it's just dirt, basically.
Yeah, brown and gray and yes, it's slop. So,
quick update. We touched on it last week in the podcast. The Pirate Toy Fund. We held an event here at our office. Had a bunch of people come through and drop off some toys. So thank you to everyone that did. Special shout out to Chris Sakula.
Oh my God, yeah. Chris being one of the painters that we use. Chris is a good friend. Chris does an incredible job in terms of, he's such a success. Jim Mahan. Well, let's shout out Jim Mahan also.
Okay,
So Jim Mahan is an executive coach that I've worked with personally and the team has worked with. And then he's helped Nick Mancuso, who owns Elevate Gym. And he's helped Chris Sakula for the past year or so. And he's really transforming Chris from being a guy who picks up a bucket of paint and a brush and applies paint to house, and now he's got this crew of a dozen people and just commercial contracts left and right. Jim is just so incredible in terms of helping people to grow their businesses. And then Chris decided to do the right thing by educating his two young boys about the importance of philanthropy, and they stopped by last week.
Oh, so sweet. So very, very sweet. Yeah, with a lot of toys, by the way.
A lot. Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Also, real quick aside, I wish I did. I didn't catch this man's name, but there was a gentleman that was walking his dog in the neighborhood here, and he just kind of happened to see that, the Pirate Toy Fund was there with their tent, and he was just kind of curious about what was going on. So he talked to us for a little bit and then ended up leaving. Towards the end of the 4 hours they were here, came back, drove back in his car, and had 2 bags of toys.
Whoever this is, I wish I knew.
Hero. Talk about just really believing in the season and and putting your money where your mouth is. So really good stuff. And I'm excited to say that the Pirate Toy Fund overall did achieve their goal, actually beat it. They wanted to collect 20,000 toys. They ended up collecting 21,362 toys.
That's amazing. That's just amazing.
And then there's going to be an event at the War Memorial coming up here shortly where they decorate the whole thing, and Santa's going to be there, and elves and all that, and 3,500 families in our area get to come through and bring their kids to pick out toys.
That's just great.
In many instances, it's the one toy they're going to get all year.
It all feels a little more poignant this year, doesn't it? Given everything that's going on. Well, actually, you know what? Taylor Swift. This morning, Taylor Swift was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year.
Will you shock her?
But in part, they cited the fact that she makes people feel happy.
Sure.
Our pies, the pies we delivered a few weeks ago. An insane number of handwritten notes, text messages, emails, phone calls. People are just desperate for community and connection. So, all of this, perhaps, little by little, we'll make some change in this world.
Nice little distractions from everything else going on. I want to jump into the market update. Might be surprising, might not be. I don't know. Curious to get your take on it.
I'm just a bowl of lukewarm tapioca. But go ahead. I'll try and feign enthusiasm or something.
We've had a pretty significant jump in the number of listings in Monroe County.
Really?
Yeah, we had 373 last week. We're up to 411. Again, not crazy high numbers, but isn't it supposed to be going down?
This definitely... So historically and traditionally, yes, that's what's going on. But it's one of the things that I wrote about in the blog that we're actually just mailing out today.
Talked about it last week on the podcast.
We talked about it last week on the podcast. I talked about it in my 30-second overview or my 1-minute overview on Tuesday. We're bucking all trends and norms, and that properties are going on the market for sale right now.
Yeah. 6 county region, up as well. From 711 last week to 898.
Really?
Yeah, I told you.
Okay, I really am.
There we go. I got him. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Can I go back to sleep?
Take some NyQuil, call it a day. In terms of under contract and pending properties, that number.
I'm sorry. I'm still just like.
I know. I was surprised by that too.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Under contract and pending is down. Monroe County was 976 last week, down to 758. A lot of stuff closed.
Yeah. People are definitely trying to get contracts transacted and filed with the clerk's office before the first of the year.
And then 6 county region, 1480 from last week down to 1374 this week. So again, those numbers make sense. The new listings. I mean, we've got one this week coming up, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, we mentioned last week we got $9 million worth of new properties coming on the market for sale in January and February. I still think it's in our clients' best interest to wait until after the holidays have concluded. But not everybody's agreeing with that philosophy. That is really, really remarkable stuff.
In terms of mortgage interest rates, really interesting. And again, as we touched on in the podcast last week, this is definitely a factor at play why I think the market still continues to churn along here. I mean, we're at 7.08% right now. Right. That was down. I think we added a quick switch at last minute for what the rate was last week. I think it was 7.3 that I had written down. It might have been lower than that.
Yeah.
But still, a drop down to 7.08 is obviously very favorable. For the 15-year, it's at 6.5. That's down from 6.73. And the adjustable rate is at 6.68. That's down from 6.85. And again, we're really riding a hot streak here in terms of everything continues to be coming together and going down this path of optimism in terms of rates are going to continue to drop, and they're certainly not going to get back to the levels that they were.
Yeah, I mean, no matter every metric we're looking at, whether it's new listings, we just talked about that a moment ago, whether it's current inventory. Current inventory is a closely related metric, but current inventory is at a year-long high, which is for this time of year. So that's also trending in the right direction. We've gotten great information or great data from personal consumption expenditures. That's trending in the right way. Great information in regard to CPI. And then actually jobs, and just we're going to get actual jobs numbers
on
this
Friday,
right? But just yesterday or 2 days ago, interesting article in that the number of available jobs right now is at 8.1 million or something. That's down from over 12 million a year and a half ago.
Lowest level since early 2021.
That is, and it was a drop of 637,000 jobs over the course of the past 30 days?
617,000.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Sorry, I'm foggy today. My apologies.
That's okay. I got it right in front of me. 8.7 million is the number. And that level is, as you said, well down from the record highs we've been seeing. So they attribute, less help being available. That's part of it, right? What's really interesting? They also attributed to it, the job weakening, or at least signs of it. Workers quit quitting.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
So quiet quitting was, all the rage, all the fad there for, I don't know, the past year probably, give or take. And they're saying that the jump in resignations earlier that we've seen in the pandemic has dissipated.
Yeah.
And that basically is because people are now not feeling super confident about being able to land another job.
Yeah. Things are definitely trending in the right way. I mean, I think there's something, it's not necessarily related to real estate, but along the same lines, quiet quitting is quickly becoming a thing of the past, as is the whole notion of working from home. Yes, I do think that people will still be allowed the privilege of perhaps working from home 1 day a week, but I am permanently working from home 5 days a week. Increasingly, that just seems like it's a trend and a vestige from the days of COVID.
How do you think the companies, because there are several out there that just we are going to be remote forever. How do you think those companies are feeling now?
Actually, some of them are just like saying, "Well, this
Just
is what we
kidding.
said." But yeah, well, yeah. So they are quickly pivoting and realizing it's just not a policy that works. It feels good for a while, but
Right.
yeah. Anyway,
So yeah, in terms of job numbers, again, Friday is when those will come out. The expectation, at least from the Wall Street Journal, and their estimate was 190,000.
okay, which would be. I'll bet you it's going to come in even below that, but
Again,
190,000. I mean, anything under 200,000 is pretty remarkable. So
I mean, it was not that long ago where it was 500,000.
Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we hit that earlier in the year, at least on one occasion. Yeah.
We did.
Do you want to jump into? I think one of the most fascinating statistics I've seen this past week has to do with where it is that Rochester ranks. Is this a good time to?
That's exactly what I was going to do next.
Oh, there we go. I'm
Mark
reading
doesn't
your
even look at
mind.
my notes. He just the mind meld is in effect. The top 10 real estate markets for 2024. Sadly, Rochester is not number one. However, we did fall in at number 3 on this
So
list.
we're talking about two different lists.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
This one, this is from Realtor.com.
Yep.
And this one, their economics team predicted home sale prices as well as the number of existing home sales, which excluded new construction, and they looked at the 100 largest metropolitan areas.
Yeah. I think that things are looking up. Part of that story that you've just cited, I think it is reliant upon another statistic that was released this past Sunday by Redfin, and it stated that when you look at the top 50 municipal markets, real estate markets in the country, and you determine how many properties are available for sale in those municipalities today versus 4 years ago,
Yes, this number, yeah.
we rank number 3 in terms of the loss of properties and the decreased number of properties available for sale. There are 58.8% fewer homes on the market for sale today in the Rochester region versus 4 years ago.
Which was not a lot, really, then.
Yeah, I mean, so we've seen in the past 4 years almost 60% decline in the number of available properties, which helps us to understand why it is that we've had so many bidding wars, and why it is that properties have sold so far over asking, and why it is that property values have increased so much. So my take on this is that there comes a point in time when we just can't continue down that path in perpetuity. We eventually have to revert to a norm, and I would imagine in the coming year we're going to begin reverting to that norm, meaning that we're going to start to see more properties coming on the market for sale. We're going to start to see sales increase, et cetera, which I think is part of the story that you've just cited.
Do you want some backup from Realtor.com?
Oh, well, there we go. I'll just shut up. How's that?
So they identified these markets where home sale prices are anticipated to grow, even as they dip nationally. And then the number of existing home sales in these places is also expected to surge.
Oh,
Surge.
Okay, there we go.
Is the word, despite mostly flat and much of the rest of the country.
Okay.
Do you think surge is the word we're going to use? Surge seems like, I don't know. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic here. I don't know if surge maybe a nice,
I've got to be honest. Yeah. I hope and pray it's not a surge.
Yeah, well, can you imagine what's going to happen then?
Yeah.
We're not going to sleep.
But also I think we need to revert back to a norm, but in a in lockstep manner, and it can't be all at once.
Sure.
Because if it's all at once, then then all of a sudden you're questioning and wondering whether or not there are too many properties coming on the market for sale.
Yep.
And then you've got an overabundance of supply, which means then the property values start to go down. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't see that happening, but I definitely see that in this coming year we're going to see a lot more properties available for sale.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope for buyers, certainly. And again, I still don't think it's going to be so out of whack that sellers are going to lose a ton of advantage.
No, I agree.
But Rochester number 3 on that list, Toledo, Ohio number 1.
How is Toledo these days?
Never been. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then California really dominating this list. Oxnard number 2, San Diego number 4, Riverside number 5, Bakersfield number 6.
Wow.
Springfield, Massachusetts 7, Worcester, Massachusetts in at number 8, Grand Rapids, Michigan 9, and Los Angeles is actually number 10.
Oh, there we go.
So
Hey, you mind if I just pop open this Pellegrino?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Just kind of wet the whistle here.
There we go. All right.
It's the sound effects. We need it. Anything you want to touch on before we pop over to a little celebrity real estate?
No.
Okay. You sent me one, so we're going to be at least 1 for 3.
I don't even remember what I said to you. I literally, I am in such a fog. It's terrible.
Have you taken cold meds?
I took NyQuil last night.
Oh, that's why.
9 consecutive hours.
It's glorious.
It was luxurious. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was.
But you are a bit of a zombie the next day. I go through the same exact thing.
yeah,
You know what was really fun?
What?
Hosting a radio show where I had to get up at 4 a.m. after taking NyQuil and then trying to be coherent. Oh, that was
Oh
great.
my God! How often did that happen?
Too often.
Too often,
unfortunately.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I got no sleep, so it's.
Well, thankfully,
You think
you're-
I get sick now?
I'm sure your co-host had you prepared.
Of course.
Yeah, copious notes,
Yeah,
and segues. Yeah.
She did it all this afternoon.
Yeah. All right, what do you got for us?
All right, let's start with musician Charlie Puth.
Oh, okay.
You like Charlie Puth?
Charlie Puth is okay. Yeah.
I've actually met him.
Yeah. Oh, you've met him, really?
I did. He performed one of our Summer Jam concerts.
Oh, wow.
He actually, the timing on it was kind of crazy. It was the song from Fast and the Furious, and when Paul Walker had just died, so it like exploded, and it was like #1. He literally performed on Good Morning America like the same day he did our show.
Oh, wow.
So he gets flown in, and you can tell he got like no sleep, and he's there practicing, and I'll never forget. Like, of course, sounds fine to me. He's up there and he's singing, and he's like, "Guys, I'm sorry, I sound like shit."
That's great.
He was very funny. He was very, very funny. And then, of course, he went on, and it was awesome because he's pitch perfect.
Oh, is he really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, he's one of those guys. But yeah, so he has priced his mid-century Beverly Hills mansion at $17 million.
I mean, I knew he was doing well, but I didn't know he was doing that well.
17 million, yeah. So 4,800 square feet.
Wow, nice looking place.
It's a great looking place. It's on nearly half an acre. According to TMZ, he bought it, let's see, in 2017 for $9 million. So he's in pretty solid shape here to clear a good amount.
You know what? It's got a real.
There's the one thing though, and I just saw you stop in the photo.
Yeah.
The green carpet.
Yeah, not great, but this has a real Mies van der Rohe. Oh, look at those views. Yeah, Mies van der Rohe, sort of like mid-century modern kind of sensibility. Really nice. Actually, can I segue here for a second?
Yeah, go.
Have you seen the David Beckham series on Netflix?
I've not watched it yet. I've seen it up there. It's worth a watch.
It's really worth a watch. It's fascinating to me because I did not realize how much he was reviled and hated.
Oh, really?
After they lost to I believe it was Argentina. I'm getting that wrong. But in the World Cup series, and he lost it because he had received a red card. I mean, death threats, like people
Really?
spitting at him. I mean, like not for like a day or two or a week after, for
Years?
months and
Yeah.
months and months afterward.
Well, Europe takes soccer really seriously.
Yeah. But they've got some nice real estate in that documentary. Really nice
check it
real
out.
estate.
Okay.
Yeah, good
That's the list
stuff.
there. The next one, actually, you sent over here. Diane Sawyer lists her legendary Martha's
there we go.
Vineyard compound for $24 million. You know it's a nice place, or a nice, I guess in this instance, few places, if there's a name for it. So it's called Chip Chop.
Chip Chop. Okay. Well, there we go.
It's a legendary 20-acre beach compound, again, set on Martha's Vineyard. Sound featuring 4 homes with 10 bedrooms, 9 full baths, and 2 half baths, actually, as well.
And it's sort of the quintessential Cape Cod kind of Martha's Vineyard.
Can I just say,
What?
not my thing.
No?
I don't know. We've had a few from Martha's Vineyard in celebrity real estate, and it doesn't do it for me. The ceilings are always super low.
Oh, well, there we go.
It's very it's a lot of wood.
All right. Let's break this down.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the beachfront location?
That's gorgeous, obviously.
Okay. All right. So that's good.
Although I'm gonna again be partial to I don't know, turquoise water and white sand.
I mean, do you know what this house looks like?
It looks kind of like your house.
Yeah.
Your house is much nicer on the inside. In my opinion.
Listen, I mean, we got a nice creek running in the background. In the backyard, we don't have the Atlantic Ocean. So, but we do have it's a very, very quintessential Martha's Vineyard. It's got the clapboard, and it's whitewashed or stained that nice gray. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I'm going inside. It's a little too nah.
Okay.
All right. Well, anyway.
The next one also has a name.
Oh yeah.
Odin,
really?
This is actually amazing. The DJ Zed,
Okay, yeah.
he just scooped this one up for $18.4 million in Encino. It's actually just built this year, 17,500 square feet. Again, the home dubbed Odin was dreamed up by celebrity designer Jay Omar and is inspired by Norse mythology. So it includes 8 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms in the main house, and then a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom guest house. It has a grand entrance with high ceilings and Scandinavian-inspired artwork. And this is really cool. The formal living room has a stone front fireplace and then a curated mythology library featuring books that are over 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that neat?
This is jeepers.
This might, again, I don't know if it's the nicest, but this is up there with the Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi flip that we had a few episodes back.
I think I'm going to give up real estate and just go into DJing because, like, that's a nice looking. By the way, for those who don't know Zed, I mean, like I didn't know that he was doing well.
Things, yeah.
But I mean, it's a great song. This is like his big song. So yeah.
Yeah, afforded him a very, very nice house. That's for sure.
Yeah, for like one hit. Let's do it.
He's had a bunch.
Let's do it. Let's record a song and then give it all up. All right.
That sounds good. Yeah. One song, make $1 billion, and then all good to go.
Well, there we go. All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's gonna do it for this week.
We'll just let Maureen Morris and Zed take us out. What do you want to do here?
Sounds good.
Listen, hopefully a week from now I'll be a little more composed, a little more cogent, and hopefully, actually by then I think we'll have no snow on the ground. It's supposed to be in the 50s.
I know, right? On Saturday. All right, well, hey, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you doing that. We'll talk to you again next week.